Today I'm going to show you how you can grow your own limes or citrus fruits in your backyard or in a container. It started raining. Welcome back to another video. My name's Alex. If you love gardening videos, horticulture, plant care, DIY and general self-sufficiency, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single thing. Limes aren't cheap, so being able to grow your own supply in your garden and pick them fresh whenever you choose or you get a bit thirsty is an awesome little option. What will you be planning to use your limes for? I know what I'll be using my limes for. What? Oh, this was just water with a slice of cucumber. What are you thinking? It's too early in the day for that. And it's quite hot, so I was a little bit parched. Just need a little refreshment. Following a few growing tips will ensure that you've got a nice, thriving lime tree that'll reward you with beautiful limes that you can use in your cooking, in your drinks. Wonderful. So the first thing you're going to need, funny enough, is a lime tree, but you've probably guessed that already. If you haven't got one yet, check out your garden centres. Most garden centres will stock lime trees and other citruses. If you can't be bothered to do that, then check out the links in the description. I'll throw some Amazon links in there if I can find some limes on Amazon. They are affiliate links. It'll not cost you a penny extra though. It'll just force Amazon to give me a tiny commission. It's like a Tic Tac's worth, but every little helps. A lot of limes available, a lot of varieties, and if you're pressed for space, if you've only got a tiny terrace and you don't want your tree getting too big, considering getting a dwarf variety. It's basically a lime grafted onto a dwarf rootstock, and it'll keep the plant a lot smaller. The next thing you're going to need is a pot or a nice container. You at least want it 40 litres. This is about 60-70 litres, I'd guess. I'm not pressed for space, so I'd like it big because I can get my tree a lot bigger, but then I can still move it around. If it gets too hot in summer, I can wheel it under a little bit of shade if need be. So you're going to need at least 40 litre pot, and the most important thing is drainage. You want your pot to have good drainage. Limes and citruses in general don't like wet feet. You might hear that term thrown around a little bit, wet feet. It basically means they don't want to be sat in water. Give them as much drainage as possible. So if your pot's only got like one little tiny midget sized hole, consider drilling some bigger holes in there so the water can escape freely. If you're using a little saucer to catch the water, make sure that you empty that water out. Your citruses don't like to be sat in water, hence they don't like the wet feet. So the next thing you're going to need is a well-drained soil. If you look for soil in your garden centre that's specially made for citrus fruits, then go with that. I'm using a nice sandy loam here that I picked up from the garden centre, but it's lacking organic matter, so I'm going to be adding more compost from my compost pile to this, and some goat poop that I picked up from a herder the other week. I'm also going to be adding a little tiny half of handful of wood ash to my mix. Citrus fruits often suffer from trace element deficiencies, so adding a little bit of wood ash every now and again, periodically, a little sprinkle on your surface, maybe every 2 months, watering it in will ensure your plant isn't lacking minerals and trace elements. It will keep your plant looking nice, green and healthy. This is my sandy loam that I got from the garden centre, and that's my compost that's come out of my compost bin today. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. I'm going to add a bit of goat poop. That'll be enough. And just a little sprinkle of wood ash. And now we're going to mix this up with our pitchfork. Lovely jubbly. We're going to add some humus de lombris in there. A little bit of peat moss. And that'll just help a little bit with water retention. Now I'm sticking a little bit more of my compost in there from my compost bin. we want our mix rich in organic matter. Let's get these twigs out of there, look. So now we want to sit in our pot. We don't want to take it all the way to the top. We want to leave room for watering so it doesn't spill out everywhere. And I want to put a couple of inches of mulch, which will help protect the plant from getting too hot. It gets very hot here in summer, and also it'll help retain moisture. So now we fill in all around, using your fingers to pack it in nice and tight. This soil is teeming with life, especially from adding the stuff from the compost pile. And now we just want to fill all around. Now I can hear some of the new ones saying, "Whoa, Green Thumb, what are you doing? He's left the pot on." Nah, if you're not new to the channel, you'll know what's coming next. The new ones, little grasshoppers, hold on, hold your little horses before you start writing in the comment section. That's just to get the shape and the depth of the pot. Now we just pull it out, look at that, and we're left with a nice shape of our pot. So now we want to take out our citrus tree, being careful not to damage the roots. And what you want to check for is they've buried this citrus right up the tree. We want it to start where the roots are coming out. That's where we want the level. Otherwise that's just going to encourage rot. I really don't understand why they've done that. So we want to pour that out because this is where we want the top of our tree. So we'll clean that off, just massage these sides up a little bit so that the roots break their formation and start forming new roots. Just like that, look, little massage, and we'll get that in there now. We'll pop a bit of this soil that it's been growing in here to make up the difference, because I've pulled out quite a bit. And we'll just pop that in there. You see, it's not deep enough now from all that stuff I've taken out. That should be good. And we'll just pop that in there. Just breaking up the roots a little bit, being gentle though at the same time. Lovely, lovely jubbly. That's where we want. Right where the roots start spreading out is where the surface wants to be. I really don't understand why they had the soil right up to here. You're just asking for trouble. You know, it's not like a tomato plant that's going to start shooting out roots. You do that with tomatoes, but not with citrus trees. So we're just using our fingers to push and compact the soil in so it's nice and sturdy. Yeah. So the next tip is watering. Citrus like water, but they don't want to be kept wet and soggy. You want to let it dry a little bit, but not completely between waterings. Simple test is get your finger, stick it in nice and deep, and if the soil is still damp and wet, then I wouldn't bother. If it's getting a bit dry, give it a bit of water. When the plant starts fruiting though, you want to give it plenty of water so it can plump up them fruits, and you want to give it a good watering right till the end of the fruiting season until it's finished fruiting. You want to up your water content. Obviously it all depends on where you live as well, how dry it is, how quick your soil dries out. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mulch up my soil. Grass clippings, which will do the job nicely. That'll just protect our soil from getting heated up. Just leaving a little bit of space where the base of the plant is so it doesn't rot. Another thing, if you're living in a hot climate like I do, in summer it can get incredibly hot, and if you've got black containers like this, they can really heat up your soil if it's a small pot as well. What I'll do is when it starts warming up, I'll try and cover this with maybe a bit of white material or something to just shield the roots from getting cooked. Trees and plants in general always do better when you can keep their roots cool and not get them overheated. The reason I've raised this off of the ground is so that nothing blocks the drainage holes and it can drain as nice as possible. Also, sometimes you get a lot of weed trees growing here and they shoot roots up into your pot and rob the nutrients. So this will just ensure there's a nice air gap, and the only one who's taking the nutrients is my lime tree. If you want to learn how to grow dragon fruit in containers, then make sure you hit this link on your right. Thanks for watching, guys. Share this video with your friends. Give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Imagine the mini orchard. It's going to be awesome. We'll have a pot there, a pot here. Put in the comments what plants would you like to see. Look forward to seeing you again, guys, soon. See you later.